everyone, and welcome back to another fabulous edition of the 411 with Rehab. How are you?
Great. Sonora, how are you?
Good. So excited to have you, Stacy, because, I mean, we always talk about super fun stuff.
Yes.
Because y'all are always doing super fun things.
We are. We're always doing super fun things. It's a fun place. So, yes.
It is. So, okay, let's just go ahead and kick it off. One of y'all's biggest events is coming up.
Yes. So we're getting ready for Roundup for Rehab. And for those that don't know this, Roundup is our largest fundraiser in the rehab history. We are kicking off our 64th year of Roundup for Rehab. So basically what that means is from starting in August, some of y'all may have gotten our mail out.
Yeah.
But we do a mail out with all the dates, and it just talks about everything related to Roundup. Getting ready for our Fort Chadbourne event, August 19th, which kicks off our Roundup. Red Siegel is there, and it's a great time. He sings, performs with his fellas. We have a barbecue dinner, and we just kind of talk about what Roundup is and how Roundup has helped the rehab for the past 64 years.
I know. Yeah, you said 64, and I'm like, wow. That is a long time.
It's a very long time. So that was our first fundraiser, and it is our largest fundraiser to date. So basically what that means is if you can't give money, if you can't make a donation of money, people give donations of their livestock, their animals, steer, cow, pig, bulls. That also kicks off our grain and our cotton. So we have folks that give grain and cotton to us every year. Yeah. And even if you're thinking, oh my gosh, how do we do that? We do that. So there's a couple of our gens who work closely with, they'll take your bale of cotton or grain or a bushel of grain, and they'll make that into the money for it. They'll sell, and then we get the money on your behalf. So we don't have a barn full of cotton or anything.
I was about to say, people are envisioning
that. Yeah. No, so it's really neat that started over 64 years ago from Ed and ConchoValley, who could not give money, but they had a pen of cattle to give to the rehab, and that's where it all began. So
that's pretty neat. Amazing. Yeah, and that just speaks to the generosity of West Texas. How long people have been giving. People have been part of this, donating whatever they can. Yeah. Because I mean, that's really special.
It's very special. It's very special. As a matter of fact, we had, this is a very random talking about Roundup. A couple of weeks ago, we had a family call our office, and they're homeschooled. They homeschool their children, and they are in their U.S. history part right now. Really cool this family does. They don't go to school during the cooler months. They choose to go to do their homeschool during the summer months. So when it's hot outside, they're inside and trying to find, I was like, that's genius. Yeah. Anyway, but she brought her 3 children up, and they were talking about U.S. history, and she remembered one of her kiddos was a patient of the rehab. And if you've not been to the rehab, when you enter in our facility in the treatment center, we have walls of our brands.
Yes.
So all of our Roundup people that have given over the years, the past 64 years, if you have a brand, that brand goes on the wall if you were a donor to the rehab. So they remembered that and talked about one of the things in their class they were doing. They had to create their own brand. So they came up to the rehab and checked out the brands, and it was really cool to go back through and talk to some of those brands that have been on the walls for 60 plus years. And for those that are thinking, man, I want to give, but I don't have my own brand. Yeah, we can help you create your own brand.
No way.
Yeah. So so cool. So anyway, it's really pretty neat. The fun facts that people don't know about the rehab. If you haven't been to the rehab and checked out all of the brands that are on the walls, I highly suggest you do that.
Yeah.
That's what our team does is, welcomes you into the rehab, gives you the tour to see what's happening every day, see what those dollars go for. And then it's really neat to see our walls with the brands on it is really cool.
And I have to say, that is like you walk in and it's a bit just overwhelming.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So many.
Yeah, there's really cool. For y'all Yellowstone fans, the Four Sixes Ranch, we've got all different kinds of brands. Yes. You're like, man, they give to the rehab, and they do. So it's really pretty neat.
Yeah, and I think it's a reminder, for those of us who, we've been here a while, we're used to the rehab, right? It's a staple. You see it driving down the road, your different locations. But, just to kind of take a step back and really understand the gravity,
yeah.
and how many people y'all serve, because I mean, it's nonstop.
Nonstop. We serve over 800
Yeah.
patients through our 3 facilities, Abilene, Ozona, and us, San Angelo. And it's incredible that 800 folks plus a day get the treatment that they may or may not could afford.
Right.
And now, don't get me wrong, we have patients that are able to pay for their services, and that's great. But most of our patients are not able to. So it's great to think that those people are getting treated without having to worry about getting a bill in the mail that they can't afford today.
Yeah.
So
because I mean that alone takes off so much pressure.
for sure.
Yeah. To heal and everything. That's quite a lot to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're, like you said, you're trying to heal and get over whatever you have happened to you. And then to have to worry about, well, I need to go, but I can't afford to go. That's another stress for that family. So it's just, a blessing that we're able to serve so many and help them in that way.
Yeah. Oh, that is amazing. So, going back to Roundup and everything. So if people want to get involved, basically they just have to contact you.
Yeah, just contact our office. We, again, stress this, if you want to come in and get a tour, if you want to volunteer, you don't have to give. If you don't want to, if you don't have money to give, that's okay. If you want to give your time and just come volunteer with us.
Yes.
We have a lot of Roundup events that are coming up in August, September, October that need lots of volunteers for. We've got several auctions.
Yeah.
So if you're a business and you want to give an auction item, that's great too, but it's not just about giving us your dollar. It's about if you have time to give back or an item or whatever. But they could call our office, 325-223-6311. They can reach out on our website, westtexasrehab.org, or just stop by our office. We're usually out. One of the 4 or 5 of us is in the office at most times. We try to make sure someone's always there. And touring. We want to get as many people in our building that we can, especially since we're newly remodeled after the fire, flood, freeze.
Yeah.
So all the things. And it looks great, though. We've had so many people come in and talk about how great the building looks. And like that family that I was talking about, they hadn't been in a few years.
Oh, wow.
So they got to see it fully remodeled. And it was just really, really neat. To give them that experience. And, when you're walking the halls and you see a little pediatric patient, walk in or doing something, it's pretty incredible, the things that we get to do. So we're just thankful.
Because it just looks like they're having fun. We've seen videos y'all post on your Facebook, on the website. It just looks like they're having fun.
Yes. And in reality, they're getting back to their normal daily life. It's remarkable. So anyway, and we would love to tour you. Come check out the rehab, see what we're all about. That's our biggest thing right now. Is just come get inside our doors and see what we do.
Definitely.
Like we say, great things happen here every day.
Yes. Love it. Well, okay. What else? What else we got going?
So we're kicking off Fort Chadbourne August 19th. And then we've got our producer sale September 28th. That's always a real good fun one.
Yes. So fun.
So that one's available. And again, we need volunteers, anybody willing to come out and hang out with us that day. And then we've got our usual events coming up, our dinner show that will release entertainment for soon. We have a contract out for a couple of people. So we're excited about that one. Yeah. And then we've got our Ozona Goat Ropers Gala coming up in October. So we're getting ready to really start kicking up the Roundup, and we're super excited.
That is awesome. Yeah, and of course people can find out more information on your website, your social media.
All the things. Website, social media, calling us, stop by our office. Anyway, all of those things, they can find us. So
awesome. Well, Stacy, thanks so much for joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
Final thoughts or messages?
No, I just want to thank everybody that follows us, that helps us, that supports us, all of our donors. We had a great golf tournament a few weeks ago. So we have great donors and sponsors that we could not do anything without them. So we're just very, very thankful that we have such great people that want to give.
Yeah.
So
sure. Way to go, West Texas.
Yeah.
Good job.
Way to go. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Stacy, thanks again. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.